Hello Libra, Elsie here to do your reading. It is a weekly reading. How you doing? Fancy pants. I hope you're well. And thank you so much for clicking here. I'm here to do a 9-card draw for you, friend. And we do have a specific topic. But before we get to that, I just want you to remember that when you log into these readings are not just for Libra Sun. They are for Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, which means when I talk about other energies in the reading that may not sound familiar to you, it's because I could be talking about someone who has any other sun sign in the zodiac, but they might have a Libra moon, rising, Venus, or Jupiter. So please keep that in mind, then that it is a general reading. So what are we talking about? Well, what skin are you shedding, my friend? Because we've now moved out of the year of the snake. You've sort of shimmied out of the old skin, right? And we now are in the year of the horse. So the year of the snake is the mastery of the inner world. You've had a chance to figure things out, and now you need to put them into action. Action is the year of the horse. So, are you going to keep building what isn't working, or are you going to burn it to the ground and begin again? Because, friends, we ride at dawn. Sometimes we have to build a bridge in order to stay warm. I'm just saying, let's talk about you, Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me what Libra is shedding. Tell me about Libra. We've got the 10 of Cups, Libra. We've got the 9 of Swords in the reverse. I kind of like that. And we've got the 7 of Swords. You know what it feels like? It feels like you're releasing some sort of nervous energy or a worry. It feels like there is something under the surface that other people don't know about, or that is being concealed. You could be the one concealing it. And I feel like it wasn't feeling good to conceal it. It feels like it is a happy thing, but it feels like it's not going to make other people happy. They might see you as being dishonest. Why didn't you tell us this ahead of time? Why didn't you tell us before now? I think it was because the 9 of Swords was in the upright. I feel like you're no longer feeling nervous about the situation, and it's time to reveal something, which I feel is happy. But I also feel like it is something that you didn't want to reveal because other people may have had something to say about it. Let's talk about the Emperor. The Emperor is here with the 10 of Cups. Look, you may have decided you're leaving a job and building a business. You may have decided, I'm taking control. I'm not leaving it in the hands of someone else anymore. I think you're making some sort of really big decision or move. Maybe it's a move that's coming up, like a power move, I want to say. And you're making it because it's the right thing to do for the masses, right? It feels like I'm making this decision because based on all the information I have, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't have my answer. And now that I'm taking control of the situation, it's time for me to make a decision that is going to be beneficial for me in the 10 of Cups. So that could be happiness, that could be joy, emotional elation. This is something that's making you very happy, but I have a feeling that others are going to say, well, why did you keep it quiet for so long? But the Emperor is never going to let people know on the surface what's going on until which time I'm ready to execute the plan that I've been thinking about. We've got the 4 of Swords here. So it feels like you've been trying to come to an answer, a realization, or you've been healing something in the mind. It's like you've been trying to make a decision, I feel, that is something that you've always wanted to do for yourself, but is not necessarily going to match the expectations of other people around you. So I'm going to say that we only have 6 cards on the table. We're putting 9 out here. I feel like the skin that you're wiggling out of is doing things in your life that match the expectations of others. We've got the Lovers here. It feels like you're making a choice. This could also have something to do with the person that you love. I'm just going to say, it could have something to do with that. It feels like somebody here could be making a decision. I've just got to tell them that I'm in love, or I've just got to tell them that, yes, this is the person that I love. Now, the fact that the 9 of Swords is here tells me that maybe not everybody agrees with your assessment of the situation, but the Emperor doesn't care what they think about the assessment of the situation. The Emperor is doing what's best for everyone involved, right? We've got the Hermit energy. So maybe they haven't heard from you for a while. Maybe you've been spending time away, time by yourself. It feels like you've been I want to say finding courage, building yourself into this Emperor energy. It feels like feels like tsunami energy. You've been pulling all the energy back. I'm thinking of the water that pulls out into the ocean, right? It feels like somebody here has been thinking by themselves, what's going to make me happy? I think that when the 9 of Swords is in the reverse, it's like I can't worry about what everyone else is going to think about my choice of lover, about the person that I choose. We've got the Page of Pentacles. It does have to start somewhere. You have to say something. You know this must materialize. You've got to put a little bit of effort toward letting people, the people that you know the best in your life, it could be your family we're talking about, the people that are the dearest to you, the ones that you love a lot. I feel like you owe them an explanation. And we have the Devil. Yeah, some people are not going to agree with your choice. They're going to see it as a power move. They're going to see it as a power move that you are making without consulting everyone else. And I think that although I don't think that you're making this decision in order to go against what everyone wants, I feel like you're making a decision that is sound. I'm going to say you got wisdom when you've got all the energy of all the kings. And I'm talking to those of you who are in charge of your life in the masculine energy. You are somebody who's just going to make that decision, whether you are a masculine woman or a masculine man. The masculine energy is like, I can't really put the whole empire at risk for the opinion of one that doesn't agree with the choice I'm about to make. The Devil, they're going to see you as someone who's being played as a puppet. So if this is about a relationship and that you are finally going to reveal that you are in love with somebody that maybe they might not agree with for whatever reason, it feels like they're going to say, oh, you're just being played as a puppet. That's why you weren't telling us. It feels like they're going to try and make you feel like this was a dishonest decision only because you didn't broadcast your business. We're going to look at 2 cards, what's under the surface. And at the end of this, I'm going to tell you about how to go to the extended. If you're interested, also, if this is something that sounds familiar, I do have private reads available. We'll talk about that later. Tell me what's under the surface that you don't see here, Libra. We've got the 2 of Cups. So look, it could very well be that either the people that are not going to agree with you are people who thought, well, I thought we shared everything. 2 of Cups. This is a deeply bonded relationship. Maybe there's someone here who's putting a crown on someone here. So it almost feels like it's somebody that you really respect. You want their blessing. It feels like you want this person's blessing. It does feel like that there is a deep connection here or a deep bond. The 2 of Cups isn't always about love, about romance, but it is about sharing. We've shared so much. Why didn't you tell me with the 7 of Swords here? One more card. We've got the Page of Cups. So I feel like it's a surprise or a shock to the person who I feel you want their blessing, and you're going to go to this person and say, this is my decision. Now, this could be a decision about anything. This could be a decision about leaving your job and going to a new job, right? The Page of Pentacles is here. This could be about making a contribution or making an investment into something that other people think is a bad investment. It feels like there is one particular person, or maybe more than one. I don't know. 2 of Cups could be 2 people, 3 people. Got 3 cups here. Maybe it's a soul tribe, a social group. It feels like it's going to be a shock to them, but it's not a shock to you because the Emperor doesn't move quickly. The Emperor doesn't make shocking, quick revelations. The Emperor weighs and measures and makes a decision based on the data, based on what's really good for the empire. Let's talk about the 8 of Swords in the reverse. Tell me about Libra. We've got the 10 of Wands. Yeah, I feel like the 9 of Swords being in the reverse tells me that you're at the very edge of finally just not worrying about this anymore. I can't worry about what everyone else is going to feel about the outcome. And I think simply by the 9 of Swords being in reverse, the 10 of Wands shows up and says, I'm going to unburden myself. Because whether they agree or whether they don't, eyes covered, I can't bother myself with that. I've just got to say what I've got to say. 10 of Swords. It's going to hurt some people, and some people are going to see whatever decision, choice, or person you've chosen is going to be an act of war, or it's going to be an act of betrayal. We've got the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. Look, don't be surprised if somebody says, fine, I'm cutting off the family money then. If this is the decision you're going to make, then I'm cutting you off. I'm not helping you anymore. Don't ask for any money. You're screwing the legacy by making this decision that somebody here sees as being quite selfish. Tell me about the Lovers here. I want to know what this is about. What is this choice? Because it feels like it's all based on this. I feel like the Emperor thinks they're making the most healed choice, the one that has the most clarity of the mind, because this is the center of the reading and that's the heart of the matter. So I feel like this Four of Swords is telling me I'm making the clearest decision that I'm making because of things that I've weighed and measured. And fours are always about stability. I have stability and clarity of the mind. I'm not just making this off the cuff just because I want to piss you off. I'm making this choice because it's something that is going to be good for my life. 10 of Cups. We have the Four of Pentacles. We have the Judgment card. Yikes. What is this? This is changing the whole trajectory of you. And the Eight of Wands, it's got to be done now. It feels like it's something that once you tell the person, you're going. It feels like I'm moving away. Like I'm just giving you a scenario. It doesn't have to be. It feels like I'm taking a job across the world and I'm leaving on Tuesday. It feels like you waited a long time because the Nine of Swords would not get out of the upright. I think you needed to wait for the Nine of Swords to be in the reverse before you could actually say something. And I think you had to be prepared financially because I think somebody here is going to use that as leverage. It feels like somebody's going to be like, what are you doing? What do you mean you're not getting a prenup? This person's going to impact your finances. And if they do, it's connected to the family lineage and it's going to impact all of us. Like it feels like it's something that someone is like, they don't realize that it's required for your ongoing happiness. Tens, right? It's required for your ongoing happiness. And someone is trying to talk you out of it in a moment because it's happening soon. The decision, the Judgment card is here, is happening soon. Now, I'm just going to say with the Judgment card, I feel like something here has come round and round and round. And I feel like you weren't in the Emperor energy and couldn't make the decision to do this. But I feel like there are people in your family, 10 of Pentacles, in your love group, in your soul tribe, people who are going to say, what do you mean? It's happening on Tuesday. You're making some sort of decision which is taking you on a completely different trajectory that you've been on. The Four of Pentacles is here. I feel like it's the Four of Pentacles tells me that you had been shut off, shut down, not making a decision, not feeling like you were vulnerable enough to be able to make this choice. And I feel like people are like, we're happy with you being stuck. They were happy with you being stuck where you were because they benefited from you being stuck where you were. Let's talk about this Page of Pentacles. Tell me about this Page of Pentacles, because this is the thing that's next to the Devil energy. It feels like you were sort of underground or pulled back from people, not really giving them their energy because you were going over the details, not only the details of you, the details of the situation, but I feel like you were in a spiritual, what can I say, awakening. It feels like you were in some sort of spiritual awakening. It's like you're making a decision that is that people see as being out of character. But I feel like it's because you've had some sort of walk through the dark and now you finally come to this opening and you're like, you can finally breathe and see daylight. And it's the only thing, and you don't want to let go of it. It's the only thing that's going to make you happy. Tell me about this Page of Pentacles here. We've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the Seven of Cups, and we've got the Eight of Swords. It does feel like a taboo relationship, friend. So I don't know what it is that you're about to tell somebody here, but it does feel like it's going to affect you financially. You might be picking up and moving. It feels like there is somebody here that you're choosing to carry on with in terms of a relationship. You're choosing them, they're choosing you, and this is going to put you on a completely different trajectory because it's going to make a lot of people shut off and shut down. They're no longer going to want to have anything to do with you, and I think that's a really hard decision. Now, I think it's a power move by all those people, whoever, or the people or the person. I think it's a power move that they don't want you to go right away, and they've always been able to manipulate you up to here or manipulate your actions or how you're moving, and that's why you kept it quiet. So we do have the Knight of Cups, we do have the Seven of Cups, and we have the Eight of Swords. I feel like the reason that you've been in your head in this mental prison, feeling overwhelmed because of all of the opportunities you had to tell them and you didn't, it feels like to you, it was like so far in the future. It was a fantasy. It's something I've always wanted to do, but I'm never going to do it. And then you stepped into your Emperor energy. I don't think you expected that you were ever going to make this decision. But the Knight of Cups tells me that it is something that is maybe a passive income that turned into a major income. It turned into your empire. Somebody here is not agreeing with how you've come about it. And it does feel like it's now finally materialized in the 3D, however little it might be, that there is materialization in the 3D. Bottom of the deck, look at this. We've got aggressive words. We've got the Knight of Swords, aggressive energy, aggressive words. I feel like you're going to be met with aggression. I feel like you're going to be met with people who are going to say, look, why are you allowing this person to play you as a puppet? Why are you allowing that? You're going to be attached to this forever. This person's codependent. Do you have something that is going to protect your legacy, protect your finances? It feels like people are going to see this as an act of betrayal, but you've got to make this decision for yourself. We're going to go into the extended. If you would like to be there, Libra, to see how this all pans out, because we're talking about a really big surprise, that you are surprising someone that you have this deep bonded relationship with. And this is a person who I feel that you have a lot of respect for. Someone who's literally holding the crown above your head. It could be a mother or a father and saying you're cut off. If you want to go there and see how this plays out with some advice, then please go to the comment that is pinned above all of the comments. You will click on read more, and when you do, you'll get the membership link, and that's where all the extendeds are. If you're interested in a private read, I can do them live. I can do them pre-recorded. Please take a look at the Hypsee link and see about my pre-recorded readings. They begin at $25. They go from there. The $25 reading comes back in 48 hours. If you're interested in a live reading, please check my schedule and book accordingly. When you book in advance to speak with me online, you will get between 5 and 75% off of your reads, right? So let's go into the extended. If you want to be there, that's where we'll be. And if you're not, that's okay, Libra, because I'll be back, because I'm always back. You guys take care of yourselves. Thank you so much. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye-bye.